you very much for giving our time.
My pleasure.
So first, I would like to start with congratulate you because your team has won against the Germany in the FIFA World Cup.
Oh, thank you so much. It was totally unexpected, but our lads did a really fantastic performance and they won from 1-0 down. So they fought back and they won 2-1. So hopefully next match, which is against Costa Rica on 27th, so they will win the next match and they'll be moving to the knockout stage.
Yeah, because we are very proud the Asian giant that Japan has win because the geographical
first giant killing by Japan in the football World Cup. So we have a high hope that this time Japan will reach the best 8.
Okay, that's great. We have the expectation very high. Now I would like to start with that the Bangladesh and Japan have been close countries that immensely valued their partnership or friendship. So the two countries completed 50 years of journey together. So what is the achievement you can describe and what is the direction in the future? What do you describe this achievement and the future direction?
Japan and Bangladesh are time-tested friends. So I think our partnership, cooperation have been very solid. So I'm so grateful that the Bangladesh government and people have chosen Japan as a prominent development partner. So we should live up to this expectation. And Japan should be the country Bangladesh will continue to choose when the nation needs to do very important quality infrastructure projects. But this was started by Bangabandhu. When Bangabandhu visited Japan in October 1973, he asked the cooperation on Jamuna Bridge construction, which was done in 1980, if I'm not mistaken. But the first big collaboration between Japan and Bangladesh was Jamuna Bridge collaboration. We did some other bridges like Rupsha Bridge. Recently we did 3 bridges along National Highway 1. The Kachpil, Meghna, Gumti. So those bridges were constructed and completed in 2019-2020. So that's also very important achievement by us. So lots of infrastructure cooperation, particularly bridge construction. That is the history of collaboration between Japan and Bangladesh. But we do some other projects like Sonargaon Hotel, or even this fertilizer plant in Chittagong, like Kafko.
Yes.
But you may not know much, but agricultural area. So early period of we did collaboration on this Bangladesh Agriculture Research Institute, Rice Institute. So we did technical cooperation. So many of the young volunteers, JLCV, worked on agricultural field and rural community building cooperation. So some of the varieties like daikon radish was initiated by Japanese young volunteer in Bangladesh. And we do some human resources development as well because that's a very, very important area.
How much money so far you have invested from the starting in 1972 in the last 50 years? How much money you have invested here as a grant or the loan or other cooperation? Do you have any approximate?
I don't have the exact figure, but that is somewhere like 27 billion, 28 billion US dollars. That is the amount of cooperation we extended to Bangladesh. But recently, because of the economic growth of Bangladesh, the Japanese ODA, the yen loan, increased drastically over the last 10 years. The amount increased on commitment basis from 300 million to 3 billion on annually. So tenfolds in 10 years. So that is the pace of increase of Japanese ODA. This reflects the economic growth of Bangladesh, the increasing demands of infrastructure, particularly quality infrastructure in Bangladesh. So we hope that we are going.
I think that the major infrastructure project is the
Matabari Deep Seaport Project construction. That's the symbolic flagship project. But we do Dhaka MRT,
yes,
the airport extension, the metro rail airport extension, and we do the Bongobondu railway bridge over River Jamuna. That is ongoing. So we do
on Jamuna or Yamuna? No?
Jamuna, the railway bridge over
bridge,
Jamuna.
okay, railway component.
So that's all we are doing. So we do infrastructure building. We do this diversification of industry, also social development, inclusive development. So 3 areas we have been providing our cooperation. Yes.
So do you have any strategic goal for the Matabari connectivity project or deep support project? Because initially we heard it will be not in Matabari but in Suladia there will be deep support by China, but suddenly the government has decided to provide the Matabari to Japan. So do you have any strategic goals to set up the Matabari deep support?
Now the Matabari is only port construction project on this Matabari island. Matabari, what is the name of the island? Matabari. Maheshkari, yeah, Matabari Maheshkari Island. So it's a very important project. So Matabari needs to be the hubs of transportation, energy, and industry. So once Matabari is complete, Matabari functions as full-fledged deep sea port, then that will have regional implication. So that will be the game changer for the Bangladesh's development. But Matabari will serve as the hubs of prosperity of the region, in the Pacific region beyond the Bay of Bengal. I think that impact itself has a strategic implication. So, because of the rising stature of Bangladesh in the region, so Bangladesh can play even more prominent role in the region, regional development, regional diplomacy, regional connectivity. So Matabari will play the central role to that. So that is why we see the strategic implication of Matabari Deep Sea Port project. So we are not talking about using Matabari for military purposes. No.
Economic purpose.
Economic purposes only. But through this functioning Matabari in a full-fledged manner, so starting from this deep sea port and coal-fired power plants, then there will be a expansion of port with the energy terminal, LNG, LPG, also a container yard facility. The third stage is, bigger development of container yard facility and port functioning. So if you come to the third stage, then that is going to be the equivalent to the container handling capacity of Chattogram port currently does. So then think about this. You have 2 Chittagong port.
What is the expected time frame to praise opening, praise by praise, or totally opening will be the same time, or just like the metro rail, there's a praise by praise opening?
It's a phased manner. So in the year 24, so the coal-fire power plants will start functioning. Then later on, the second stage, container yard and the energy terminal. We don't know how soon this will be operational, but hopefully before the end of this decade. So the second stage, the port will be operational. Then said 10, 15 years from now, so Matabari Deep Sea Port will be fully functional. So that is our expectation. But to that end, we need to focus more energy, more resources into Matabari project, you may need a new organizational structure like a MIDI agency. So we want to do some new master plan on Matabari deep sea planning to prioritize the projects and to see or assess what sort of impact on GDP this Matabari project will have. I think this is the task we need to discharge probably next year.
Yeah, so how the cost will be, how much money in the Matabari project?
We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But
So
you know, so the earlier estimate was, the 20 billion US dollars worth project,
Okay.
entire Matabari project. But
And the Japanese portion is total, or
no, that we have not discussed. That we have not discussed.
Okay.
But you know, that is a kind of thing we need to sort out as we do new master plan or Matabari development, as well as this establishment of MIDI agency. So we need to really firm up what we are supposed to, what we could do for the better use of these wonderful opportunities of Matabari deep sea port development.
about the recently postponed or deferred the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's visit to Japan. So, what the Bangladesh government expects, it will be new date will be announced soon, fresh date. And so, what is the reason behind of the postponement? And the second question is, what you are expecting the Prime Minister's visit? Maybe the Prime Minister will go. But
No, we were working on the early visit of Honorable Prime Minister. So it would have been better if that took place during the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations. But now we will be working towards the early realization of Honorable Prime Minister's visit to Japan. How soon, we don't know. We have not come up with a
But
date
what
yet.
happens suddenly stop this visit? Whether the domestic problems in Japan or the Bangladesh government reservation not to go at this moment?
I don't see any domestic issues in Japan. I don't see any reservation on the part of Bangladesh government in the Honorable Prime Minister's going to Japan. So, but just we couldn't work this out. So, but now important thing is both governments are looking towards the early visit of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. So, and both governments are ready to work to make this a very significant, fruitful visit. So we are ready to work on signing various MOUs. And once this visit materialized, hopefully we'll be able to elevate our partnership to a new height.
So far you have worked, the preparation works you have completed some. So what are the areas you are going to sign the deals between our two countries?
No, since we have not come up with a date yet, I don't think we can.
Business or
I can give you an answer. You know where the areas we are going to sign MOU, but important area is of course security cooperation.
security.
So we have done some of the exchange of officials and talks, or even port calls by Japanese self-defense force ships. So goodwill exercise were also done. The Japanese self-defense forces ships, 2 ships visited Chittagong port in January. So it was the curtain raiser of 50th anniversary celebration. But they also did joint goodwill exercise with Bangladesh Navy. So we have already done, some of those security cooperation. Already we have done this, but on top of that, what we are looking at is this defense equipment procurement by Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is now diversifying the source of procurement of defense-related equipment. So hopefully Japan will be one of the countries from which Bangladesh will buy defense-related equipment. So one particular type of equipment both sides are looking at is the mobile radar system. So Bangladesh Air Force is now showing great interest in buying the mobile radar system manufactured by a Japanese company. So I hope that this will be materialized. Now preparation is going on, the preliminary consultations are going on. We need to go through some procedures. The joint mission private company and the Japanese Defense Agency will be visiting Bangladesh soon. So hopefully we can work out some preliminary arrangement on the basis of which we can advance our talk. So security area is a very important area.
So you are expecting a framework agreement on security cooperation during PM visit?
If preparation goes well, including this defense equipment procurement, we may be able to come up with a document on security cooperation.
Regarding the trade and investment
And,
areas,
the trade and investment areas, free trade agreement, economic partnership agreement will be a very important vehicle for us to move forward trade and expanding trade and investment. The Japan's preference is economic partnership agreement, not just the simple FTA, but the economic partnership agreement, which includes the terms of trade, better market access, but also trade in services, investment, intellectual property right, customs evolution, and some other areas. So the wide-ranging rules will be shared with. So this will bring about economic interdependence between Japan and Bangladesh, and supply chain will be built on a bilateral basis between the two countries. And this economic partnership agreement will be a very good step for Bangladesh to become party to RCEP, this regional cooperation, the RCEP arrangement in the East Asian countries. So I think we can do this. And other areas like mechanization of agricultural production here, that is another area the Japanese companies are keen to cooperate. And Bangladesh might like to have better cooperation in ITC sector or even cybersecurity. So those are the areas which your side has shown keen interest so far. But we don't know the date yet. So between now and the date of visit, there may be increasing areas of cooperation which we might be able to come up with.
right.